Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be solving the equation 5 to the power of x is equal to 50. So to first start with this problem, let's test different values of x. So if x is 1, then I get 5 to the power of 1, which is equal to 5, and this is too low. Now if x equals 2, I get 5 to the power of 2, which is 25, and this again is too low. Now if x equals 3, then I have 5 to the power of 3, which is 125, and this is way too high. So we know that the value of x is going to be somewhere in between 2 and 3, meaning it's going to be a decimal. So how are we going to find the exact value of x? Well, to start, we're going to be using logarithms. So I'm going to take the log on both sides, so I get log 5 to the power of x is equal to log 50. And the reason I'm doing this is because logarithms come with a special property that state that if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can actually move the exponent b to the front, so this turns into b times log a. So in this case, I have log 5 to the power of x, and we can think of x as b, and I can move this x to the front, so now I get x times log 5 is equal to log 50. And now remember, we want to find the value of x, so all we have to do that is to get rid of this log 5 by dividing both sides by log 5. So now these two cancel out, and I get x is equal to log 50 over log 5. And now let's simplify this a little to get the exact decimal value. So log 50 is the same thing as log of 10 times 5. And another property of logarithms is that if I have something in the form log of a times b, this is equal to log a plus log b. So now this turns into log 10 plus log 5 over log 5, which is the same thing as log 10 over log 5 plus log 5 over log 5, which is just 1. And log 10 is also equal to 1. So I get x equals 1 over log 5 plus 1. So now all that's left to do is do 1 divided by log 5 in my calculator. So I get x is equal to 1.431 plus 1, which is equal to 2.431. So this is my answer. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve the equation 3 to the power of x plus 3 to the power of x is equal to 12. So my only variable in this equation is x, so that's the variable I'm going to be solving for. And now for my solution. So I have 3 to the power of x plus 3 to the power of x is equal to 12. And what I'm first going to do is factor out 3 to the power of x. So I get 3 to the power of x times 1 plus 1 is equal to 12. Now 1 plus 1 is 2, so I get 3 to the power of x times 2 is equal to 12. So from here, we want to isolate x. And to do that, we have to get rid of this times 2 by dividing both sides by 2. So now these two cancel out, and I'm left with 3 to the power of x is equal to 12 divided by 2, which is 6. So now I have basically another equation from this much larger equation. So this is much more simplified. I have 3 to the power of x is equal to 6. So to solve this, well, we know that x is going to be a decimal because 3 to the power of 1 is 3 and 3 to the power of 2 is 9. So x is going to be somewhere in between 1 and 2. So we want to find the exact value of x. So how are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to first start by taking the log on both sides. So I get log 3 to the power of x is equal to log 6. And from here, if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can move this exponent b to the front. So this turns into b times log a. So I have log 3 to the power of x, and I can move x to the front. So I get x times log 3 is equal to log 6. Now I'm going to divide both sides by log 3, because again, we want to isolate x. So by doing this, these two cancel out, and I get x is equal to log 6 over log 3. Now, what I'm going to do is rewrite log 6 as log of 3 times 2. So I have log 3 times 2 over log 3. And if I have something in the form log of a times b, this is equal to log a plus log b. So log of 3 times 2 is equal to log of 3 plus log of 2, and I have this over log of 3. So now this turns into log of 3 over log 3 plus log of 2 over log 3. And now these two cancel out, so I get x is equal to 1 plus log of 2 over log of 3. Now, log of 2 is equal to 0.301, and log of 3 is equal to 0.4771. So I get x is equal to 1 plus 0.301 over 0.4771. And 0.301 over 0.4771 is 0.6309. So I have x is equal to 1 plus 0.6309, which is equal to 1.6309. So this is my solution.